Hello and welcome back. My name is Dave and this is Fuzzee Tutorials. So today we're going to talk about this new interface that YouTube has come out with. They've changed a lot of stuff, so let's get into it right now. All right, thanks for sticking with me. So I don't know if you have noticed or not, but the YouTube interface has gone through a major redesign. So I'm going to just kind of take you through it all, show you how stuff has moved around. So here is my personal page, and if you notice here on the right, you'll see we've got our featured channels down the right hand side like you're used to seeing, and it's staying this way because I haven't gone in to do any customizing on this channel for a little while. But if we go and look over here on my main Fuzzee Tutorials page, you'll see that the featured videos are now gone from over here. Now they haven't removed them, they've just moved them. So if I go down to the very bottom, you'll see that the featured channels are now down here. Now you can move these to wherever you want. And this whole interface for changing this stuff has changed. So I'll just show you real quick what it's going to look like here. So we'll go into Customize Channel. And now you'll notice over here on the left, we've got a new customization menu option. And the Customize Channel interface has completely changed. Now, even though it's a lot different, I actually like it. It took me a little bit to get used to. I mean, admittedly, because I didn't realize they had made the changes, I was wondering, hey, what's going on here? So you'll notice that in this layout here, we've got, these are our different sections, and now you can just drag them up and down. It's a lot simpler to move them around than it used to be. So, and here's where, if you want to take your featured channels and move them up the list, you can do that. And they've also simplified the interface for setting up your unsubscribed viewers channel trailer, and as well as for returning subscribers, your featured video. And they've put your channel link up here where it's nice and handy. And then you can go into your branding. So this has been simplified as well. It's much easier to get to and change things. As well as your, this is where they've moved what you used to go and edit in your About tab. So they've moved this over here now. And again, they've, it used to be a bit of a process to change the order of these. You had to create an extra one and do some copy pasting and that kind of thing. And now you can just drag and drop or delete by hitting your little garbage can over here. And they've changed a few other things as well. Okay, so I'm going to take you into my demo channel because you don't need to see all the detailed ins and outs of how I run my channel. So we'll go over here to our customized channel. I just wanted to quickly point out here that in this featured sections, you can only have 10 areas. Now, you used to be able to have 10 with the addition of your featured channels, but that has changed now. So you can, other than these 2 areas up here for your channel trailer and your featured video, you're only allowed 10 sections. And for most people, that's enough, I guess. So a lot of stuff has stayed the same. We'll just quickly pop in and look at the dashboard. Now, there are a couple new areas that they've added of helpful information once you've got a few videos and stuff going on, but this is just my tutorial demos, so there's nothing here. And the videos section has pretty much stayed the same. So I'll just show you back on my main channel here. You'll see that the handling playlist has changed a bit, and it is easier now. So if we want to go in and say edit one of the playlists, we can say come in here, and now you can move your videos around. That's pretty much the same. And you can edit your title, edit your description, and here we can go into our advanced menu and our playlist settings. So you can change here whether you're going to allow anybody to embed stuff from this playlist, or the playlist in general, I should say. And you can decide whether new videos get added to the top of the list or the bottom of the list. And then you've got your advanced settings. Now in here you can kind of tweak how you want to sort your stuff in your channel, whether it's by date added or date published or the most popular. So that can be handy depending on the purpose of your playlist. And you can go into your videos to get automatically added. So what you do is you set up rules. And I'm not going to get into showing you how to do that, but you would just go here and click on add rule. And then you set up a rule, and then when you add a new video, anything that matches that rule will get automatically added to that playlist. And you can even set up your collaboration. And so if you've got people that you're collaborating with, you can allow them to add stuff to this playlist without having to give them full access to your channel. Okay, so we'll just hit cancel. And you can also access playlist settings there once you're inside of that. They've automated a couple things here. So any video marked as containing paid promotions, such as your paid product placement, sponsorship, and endorsements, will have a disclosure shown saying that the video contains paid promotions. So that's good. That saves you a little extra work on having to talk about it specifically or specifically add it into your description. And they're just talking about the latest updates and giving you more options for face blur and custom blur. Now, that's not something I've ever used, so I can't really speak to that as to what it does or how to use it exactly. So they've made it a bit easier for adding new playlists as well. So and then you would set here whether it's public, unlisted, or private. And in case you're not aware, of course, when it's public, everyone can see it. When it's unlisted, nobody can see it, but they can get to it if you've provided them a link. And private, of course, nobody can see it but you, or any moderators you may have assigned to the channel. So now we can just go create. Now, something I have noticed on my personal channel that you should be aware of, and maybe they'll fix this with these improvements they're making, but when you've got a lot of playlists, and I don't know where the limit is, but there's only a certain number of playlists that the system can handle properly. So I know in my personal channel I've got literally dozens and dozens of playlists. And what happens in there is if I'm adding a new video, sometimes it'll add it to a bunch of other playlists that shouldn't be related, that I'm not actually adding it to. And if I remove it from one of those, it removes it from the original one I added to. So now as a programmer, I know that's happening because they only allowed so many, and then they didn't put a piece of code in there to hard limit you. So I imagine what they're doing is they're using a simple integer number for sorting your playlists. So even though you're calling it by a certain name, the actual ID for that playlist would just be a simple integer. And depending on how many decimal places they allow, that's going to limit you to a certain number of playlists. So, and what that number is for them, I don't know. So what they need to do is change their code on that from a simple integer of so many decimal places to either a larger decimal place or a floating point number. And then once again, you can edit your title. So you would just click on the pencil and then we can change this, new name, and then you would click on your save. And same with description. And then once again, you can pop open your settings there. So I could turn on my add new videos. And analytics hasn't changed. And comments is basically the same. And subtitles I've never gotten into. And of course, monetization, but there's no monetization here. So we're back into our customization. So in here, you can go in and change or remove your banner image. So this is where you do that now, and this is also where you would upload your watermark for your branding. Now we're going to pop down here into settings because they've changed a few things in here. So of course this is your main settings for the channel in general. So if you are going to change your tutorial, or sorry, if you're going to change your channel name, you still have to go to your main Google account and do it there. This is where you can put in your keywords for the channel. And your advanced settings. I want to talk for a minute about this thing for channels made for kids. So here's where I've seen a lot of channels make a mistake. This is not intended to be used for telling people that your channel is okay for kids to be on. What this means is your channel is made specifically for kids. So maybe you're doing early education, or you're doing cartoons for kids or something like that. Unless you're doing content that's made specifically for kids, do not turn this on. Because if you turn this on, it prevents people from turning on notifications for your channel. I don't know how many channels I've seen, smaller channels I've seen, where you go to click that notification bell and you can't, because it's set to being made for kids. So do not make that mistake. And if you're going to link your account for Google Ads, you would do it right here. And then we've got our feature eligibility tab. So under feature eligibility, the change they've made here is you used to be able to go in and access all the individual features to apply for them, or whatever the case may be, but they no longer give you access to that now. They just give you some basic access and information here. But you can no longer actually make changes from here. So we're going to look at the upload defaults here. So what this is for is if you want a default title or description or tags to come up when you upload a video automatically. This can save you a lot of work. For instance, on my main tutorial channel, I will have some basic links and information about the channel that I like to put in here, so I don't have to retype it in or copy paste it all the time. And same thing with tags. I have a bunch of tags that I have in here that I start with, and then I just delete the ones I don't want for that specific video. And you can also set your default publicity for your video, whether it's public, private, or unlisted. And if you leave this blank for title, it will just put in whatever the actual file name of the video is when you upload it as your title. But if you put something in here, then it'll put that instead. And then you can also go in for advanced settings. So if you wanted to go in and select your default video language, so you would do that here. So of course I would pick English Canada, and you can choose your default category here. And all this is going to just save you time. And then your permissions tab here. So here's where you can go in and assign people to be managers or moderators on your channel. And you can also move your permissions here from person to person, or you can take a person and change their access. So you would do that here. And then you've got your community set up here. And here you can set up filtering for, whatever moderators or approved users, hidden users, blocked words, and block links. So you can set up automated filters so that when those people log in, they just see what you want them to see. And then you've also got some defaults you can set up here. And this is where you can kind of fine-tune controls for when people are making comments. So now YouTube has a pretty good algorithm for deciding what comments might be inappropriate, and then you can fine-tune that in other areas where you can add say extra bad words you don't want them to say, for instance. You can hold all your comments for review, or you can even disable your comments here. Now remember, this is default, so for some of them are channel level and some of them are at the video level. So if they're at the video level, then you can override that for a particular video. And then of course this is for your live chat if you're doing streaming. And then down here we've got our agreements tab, and when you've made all the changes you want to make, then you just hit save. And then of course this is what used to be in the About tab. Now when somebody goes to your channel, the About tab is still there. It's just you don't edit it there anymore. So whatever you put in here is what's going to show up on that tab. And here where you're putting in links that show up on your channel banner. So if we take a quick look here, so you'll see these little links here with the pictures. So you used to change those, of course, in the About tab, but now they've got this new method of editing, and I think it's actually better. And while we're here, I wanted to show you a little bonus. So if you want to have that kind of an automatic subscribe thing when they click on the link on your banner, all you have to do is take your channel name and then add this right here, this question mark sub_ confirmation equals 1. So that's a little trick, and you can take this entire link and you can put this at the bottom of your videos as well in your description. So it gives them another area where they can confirm. And here you can choose how many of the links you've made, up to 5, that are going to show up on your banner. So you can just have the first one, or you can have 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now you can have more than 5, they just won't show up on the banner. So if we go back and look here, you'll see it shows the links down here, and you'll see there's, on my main channel I've got 6, but it only shows the first 5 up here, and that's the maximum you can have. And then this is your main channel email for people that are contacting you about business. So you would put that email address in there. And here, if you're going to add a language or multiple languages, you can do that here. And now I'm not positive on this, so don't quote me, but I believe that when you add languages here, It also makes that available for whatever you put in here or on your videos in your primary language can be automatically translated to other languages. So depending on the country that the person is from, or I guess more specifically it would be whatever they've set their main language to be on their YouTube account. If you've added that language here, then it can automatically translate to that language for them. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the new interface, and I hope you like it as much as I do. So thanks for hanging out. If you like what we're producing, make sure you hit that thumbs up. And if you don't like it, well, that other one works too. If you appreciate what we're doing, please subscribe. It helps out our channel. And if you want to make sure to get the new videos that come out, hit that notification bell, and then you'll get an email telling you when they're out. So we'll see you next time. Bye for now.